Hi, I'm Ewan. I'm an audit manager at Henderson Loggie. I started back in 2020 on the graduate intake scheme. The trainee accountant role involves being hands-on with a client, working a mixture of out on site and also in our own offices. When you join, you'll start off as an audit junior, really being involved in sort of the lower risk, more straightforward sections of the file. As you progress through your sort of training contract, you'll build up experience, confidence, and you'll start dealing more sort of project management. You'll then start to lead the audits and see them from the start right through to the end. Really sort of being that middle point between the manager and the client, you're the sort of focus point. By the end of your training contract, you will have completed your training programme with either ICAS or ACCA, and then you'll be a fully fledged qualified accountant where you can either go into industry or hopefully stay with Henderson Loggie a wee bit longer. Audit is an assurance-related service that we provide to our clients, be that corporate clients or not-for-profit clients, where we provide assurance on a set of financial statements. To go back to when I was in school, I applied for the Accountancy and Finance programme at the University of Dundee. To be honest, it's cliche, but it was just I was sort of good with numbers, enjoyed maths, and I'd done a wee bit of accounting in 6th year. So then joined University of Dundee, so that's where the Henderson Loggie connection comes in terms of the Dundee connection. In the 4th year, sort of final year of my degree, I then applied for the HL graduate scheme. That was sort of through the advice of one of my advisors at the university, but obviously being in Dundee, you sort of had guest lectures from Henderson Loggie. They sponsored a few prizes, so there was definitely that awareness there before I even started. Then joined with Henderson Loggie in 2020, starting off as an audit junior, sort of working my way up over time, progressing to senior, gaining my CA qualification before progressing to audit assistant manager, where I've now sort of got my own portfolio of clients that I manage. How it works, junior training contract, it's like a blended sort of approach, so sometimes you'll be fully on block with ICAS or ACCA, which means essentially you go out to the ICAS site, it's just at Haymarket in Edinburgh here. You'll have full days, full weeks with classes, tutorials, similar to sort of university. It gives you a wee bit more time for the studying to be condensed. But in between those blocks of learning, you're then back in client site. It's really good as it sort of gives you that blend of learning and provides a context to the theory you've learnt at your classes, so yeah, it's really good in that sense. So completed the online application process. Following being successful, I was then invited to an assessment centre which was based out of the Dundee office. That sort of involves an individual interview with a manager and partner. There's a lunch as well where you sort of meet the staff that are involved at HL just now. You talk to your fellow interviewees and you're sort of constantly getting assessed throughout the day. If you're successful, you'll then join us in our winter intake in January or our summer intake in August. When you join HL, you'll be given a mentor, which is typically someone in the recruitment intake the year ahead of you. So it's really useful because they're still going through their training programme as well. So you can draw on their experiences, and they've been so recent that yeah, it's really, they're on top of it and know what you're experiencing yourself. So that support network's super useful. You've also got a counselling member, which is typically your line manager. Or someone from the management team, which gives that sort of broader experience, and of course all the managers at Henderson Loggie have been through a training contract themselves, so there is that sort of support network to bounce ideas off, any questions, anything you need, you're supported fully. In the run-up to exams, you'll be given sort of time off. We also have internal training sessions. We've got the HL Academy and constant training available. We often ask our trainees what their training needs are and try and make that as sort of specific as possible to really sort of support them, their development throughout their training contract. In terms of progression following the graduate programme, there's definitely opportunities for that. I'm a good example, being promoted to assistant manager, but to be honest, there's probably no better example than the opportunity than our own managing partner, David Smith, who was once in your position as a applyee to the graduate programme himself. Coming from university, you're probably still a wee bit naive, and I could only imagine being a school leaver just how even more naive I would have been, but blending that sort of work and study really does sort of develop your time management, brings in a degree of maturity, because at times, yeah, it is a wee bit of a challenge sort of balancing work and study, particularly when your friends are still going out and you're having to do a wee bit extra. But when you sort of take a step back and look at the big picture, it's something that's such a good investment in yourself, and you really see the sort of fruits of your labour in terms of opportunities going forward from my own perspective, and also going to see what my fellow trainees have gone on to do, be that with HL or out with HL. What makes HL such a great place to sort of work with and grow? It's a culmination of everything, to be honest. It's the support network, it's the people at HL, everyone's sort of pushing you to achieve your best. There's a clear sort of progression plan for everyone in the business, and the opportunities are abundant, and it's just that sort of availability of bright, like-minded people all pushing in the one direction that really creates a positive culture and one that's really enjoyable to work in. There's loads of little things that sort of add up. The HL Academy, you get a voucher at Christmas, you get a voucher for your birthday, you're offered volunteering days to go and help out with something that really matters to you. There's just a plethora of sort of opportunities that the firm grant you and benefits that you receive, which, yeah, it's the little things that sort of add up and make a difference in the long run. All of those things sort of come together and make Henderson Loggie a great place to work for me, because they really care about you. They're really invested in you as a person and your own journey. They want what's best for you. They're not going to hold you back if an opportunity comes up. And yeah, it's everyone sort of pushing one another upwards that makes Henderson Loggie a great place to work for me anyway.